Oops, I woke up late. I didn't go to bed late in particular. I went to bed at like 5:30 and got up at 2:30. Yeah, there's that whole sleeping too much thing. But at least I haven't really been napping for a few days, so it's an improvement, perhaps. Let's see. Arguably. Though I'm not very good at arguing. Okay, let's get straight into it. What happened that day? Just what on earth happened on October 4th and 5th, 1986? Because of the massive size of the Hirokenjima explosion accident, the time of the explosion was known almost exactly down to the minute. That time was October 5th, midnight. Welcome. The sheer improbability of that round number proved that the accident had been produced by artificial means. So why are they calling it an accident? Shouldn't it be incident? Later on, the following statements were collected from individuals who knew Ushida Minakinzo when he was alive. During his lifetime, Ushida Minakinzo built a clock rigged to blow up the island at exactly midnight. So you're telling me that people outside the island knew, but his family was in the dark. This clock was apparently inside a secret study. When he felt mentally cornered and wanted to think of a brilliant plan, he would activate the device and use the tension of the approaching midnight to bring some flash of inspiration to him. Well, Ushida Minakinzo still lived. This was only thought of as a tall tale about this eccentric man. Okay, Avery, yeah, you can have a piece. Come on, honey. Sure. But the fact that the Hirokenjima explosion accident occurred at exactly midnight supported the story. Maybe Kinjo just fell asleep. Whoa. It sounds crazy. Oh, we're back to this guy. He must have hoped to gain some sort of mystical power from the short periods of madness. If we call this a source of high output mental power, the story isn't that difficult to swallow. Professor Otsuki spoke passionately. Witch hunters. Enthusiasts who treat the mad fantasy surrounding Hirokenjima as their plaything. Ange had no reason to love these people, who embellished the deaths of her family just for the fun of it. How ironic it was to Ange, who wanted to know what happened that day, that such people knew more about that island than anyone else. If someone used that device, the island would be blown away without a trace. There would be nothing left. No matter what had happened there, they could erase it. Theories that Ushida Eva was the ringleader of some conspiracy sprang very early on. However, no one was able to explain how she set off such a massive explosion. And the rigged clock proves that such a thing was possible. Correct. We can theorize that Ushida Eva, fully aware of the timing and expected radius of the explosion, took refuge in Kuodorian. Taking all the family wealth to herself, she killed everyone and used the explosion to remove all evidence. That idea proves the most logical explanation of the Hirokenjima mystery. It also conforms with the fact that Ava never spoke to anyone about the events of that day. Apparently in my mind, this guy sounds like George Bush. Where was that rigged clock, and how did Ava find it? Several forgeries have speculated on this matter. There's no need for me to waste time thinking about it. I'm still drinking my morning caffeine. Settled on the white flavor being one of my favorites. It's also easy to get in bulk because they have whole boxes of it at Walmart. And the other flavors I like the strawberry are like in a mixed pack, so I gotta get peach and peach monster. Not my favorite. Ava activated the clock device, hid in Kuodorian to escape the blast, and was therefore the only one to survive. That was everything, the answer, which eloquently told the whole story. When Ava first adopted me, our relationship wasn't that bad at all. I asked her several times, what happened that day? Every single time she answered, it was to say that she didn't remember. But, well, she must have been flustered at the time. The very first time I asked, she answered like this. I can't tell you about it. It was a slip of the tongue. She knew what had happened that day, and she left this world without telling even a bit of the truth. She sealed the truth in a cat box and left this world, taking the key with her. There could only be one answer. She was behind everything. She got to keep all the family wealth to herself and became super rich. And afterward, she lamented the fact that her beloved son would never inherit any of what she had created, and she cursed me. Just remembering that old bitch makes me want to vomit. What happened that day? That's what I want to know. It's my only goal, the one reason I'm still alive. However, later on, I had to come to grips with the fact that my goal was an abstract one. After all, though I don't know what happened that day, if it's a question of who did the crime, that's already clear. Ushinomiya Eva. She's the culprit. That has never changed since the beginning. That's right. I'm not trying to find out what happened that day. I'm trying to find out what Ushinomiya Eva did that day. If I can reveal that, then I can expose Eva's evil, even though she's already dead. That is my true goal. So, you know, she's going into this very, very biased. She claims to want to know what happened that day, but I think Ange is in the position where she would deny anything but the truth she's already decided on. The police also suspected that the accident might be a crime, and they did investigate. However, no matter how much they inspected the crater that had once been Arkanjima, they didn't find anything at all. The public and the witch hunters cornered Eva with several bits of circumstantial evidence, but not a single bit of physical evidence was found. Though Eva was only the merest fraction of a shade away from guilty, they were unable to expose her crime. My goal isn't anything as vague as learning what happened that day. It's to expose the crime Ushidame Eva committed that day, and to have my revenge. I haven't been able to expose Ushidame Eva's crime, so people are acting as though the events of the island were all done by some bizarre golden witch. Defeating the golden witch means exposing Ushidame Eva's sin. I won't forgive Ushidame Eva. I'll certainly hate her and take revenge for my family. That is Ushidame Ange's one and only reason for living. And we're back in this time. I thought my hair looked really good this morning, by the way. It was cut too short a few months ago, but like, I like it being around this length. I think this is a good length. Random thought. I want to get that off my chest. Feeling good about my hair. Now I just have to lose another 20 pounds. I'm 20 there, halfway to my goal. Hahaha. If she knew you hated her that much, the president would probably be rolling around and laughing in the next world. Shut up. I'll expose that old bitch's crime. I won't accept that it was a perfect crime, with all traces blown away. I'll never do that. In other words, this journey of yours is a journey to take revenge for your family. Got a problem with that? You must be joking. It's great to know that you have a purpose in life. Would you turn that off? Oh? You don't like Mzaki? Second time they've done this joke. Amakusa turned the radio off. The dull sound of the engine became the BGM that filled the car. Is it really so strange? Yeah, I have to wonder, like, surely she wasn't saying all that word for word to Amakusa just now, right? She would sound deranged. And, like, totally obsessed. Is it really so strange? Fighting for revenge? Not really. Out on the front, I met people who live for that reason over and over. You've been in battlefields many times as a mercenary, right? Well, I've seen a few. So are people who fight to take revenge for their families strong? No doubt about it. Some people will even strap bombs to themselves and commit suicide to take revenge for their families. Humans are more than capable of dying for vengeance. That's right. I could do it too. And you know, have you heard of child soldiers? You mean kids who fight like soldiers? That's it. Kids who have lost their parents and have nowhere to go sometimes get picked up by groups of armed insurgents and become soldiers. They get a gun thrust to their hands, and they're taught how to take revenge. But in the end, children are expendable. Anyone can be a soldier in a battlefield if they can pull a trigger. We're getting a bit too real today. Are you trying to say that I'm like that? Revenge can be a reason for living. It can also give you the strength to become a soldier. Like a miracle, it can turn a girl who could do nothing but sob over her parents' corpses into a soldier almost overnight. Nothing gives you more power than revenge. I guess so. And that's what I'm like. Do you know about the child soldier problem? I mean, the existence of child soldiers in and of itself is a problem. No. Child soldiers who are given guns and taught how to take revenge make that their reason for living. Well, that's not exactly right. It becomes the reason for firing their guns. But revenge is something that never ends. At some point, they no longer have any reason to keep shooting. What do you mean? They once shot for revenge, but eventually, they keep on shooting for no reason at all. You mean they forget about taking revenge? When revenge is impossible, they eventually get tired of it and forget their original goals. When that happens, they have nothing except their guns. Eventually, they'll keep shooting just so they can eat. I mean, yeah, like, when you replace a child's early years, like, education, social interactions with shoot, gun, kill people, it's no wonder that they're not going to grow up right. He has been displayed. I'm gonna put him over. No, he'll overlap the chat if I do that. There are unfortunately only so many clever things I can do with MatPat, but I don't think I've done this yet. Alright, he's been deployed. You're saying that child soldiers who started using guns for revenge end up as bandits or something? Honestly though, if I had him here I might forget to get rid of him for DoD, but we'll see. Not the end of the world. After all, they've never even gone to school, and they haven't even been taught any useful skills as far as employment goes. That's what I was saying. They only learned how to shoot guns, and they were only ever praised when they killed the enemy. Eventually, your reason for living stops being revenge, and becomes the means you once used to take revenge. It's sad, really. Oh, I heard that they put out... Well, I say they, some modder made a mod for Peak, you know, the mountain climbing game. Very fun game, do recommend, play with friends. There's an Umineko cosmetic mod. Of all things, the game doesn't have that many mods yet, relatively speaking, compared to something like Lethal Company. It's still new. There's no, like, big substantial content mods or anything to my knowledge. There's no, like, oh, new map generation or anything like that. But we already have Umineko cosmetics, so that's something to check off the list. Are you saying that I'll eventually get tired of revenge? And, what would it be in my case? You'll get tired of exposing the truth, and you'll eventually become a person who can do nothing but hate Ushirime Eva. Eventually? She's already there. Again, that's what I'm saying. It's like I've read this before. Well, that's true already. Got a problem with it? Yeah, gonna think of it, that's right. I'm not sure what Amakusa's trying to say. Probably something annoying. So I'm not interested. Revenge is pointless. Oh. It's an Ange line. Revenge is pointless. Is that what you're trying to say? You still have a long life ahead of you, lady. With your youth, you could do anything. I get the feeling that this journey might be a waste of the precious youth. Yeah, like, you've got the money to, like, either live a life of, like, doing nothing, or if you want to do, like, creative hobbies or something, you could easily invest in that. Like, you have, like, the startup to do anything. Like, you want to learn piano? Buy a grand piano. Buy piano lessons for 10 years. You can afford it. Buy a drawing tablet. You know, those exist in this day and age, right? Learn how to draw. Get online drawing courses. Take karate lessons. You might still be in time to take those Power Ranger karate lessons I wanted to take as a kid. By that time, like, I got the VHS tapes, and my mom called up to see if they were still doing them. They'd already stopped doing them. I was very disappointed that I didn't get to take the karate lessons. I did have some of the VHS tapes from Tommy's actor, though. It's none of your business. I've already jumped once, remember? Off that huge skyscraper. And off of a smaller building, too, onto the roof of a car. And you only barely made it out of that alive. Back then, I died. So I'm already a ghost. And my only purpose is to expose the truth of that day, to take revenge on my family's enemy. Sheesh. That's an iron will you've got there, lady. There's no way a flippant man like you could understand how I feel. After that, Amakusa was forced to shut his mouth. He shrugged, but Ange didn't see. Even so, Amakusa spoke once more. On the first day we started this journey, you said something. You said you wanted to know what happened on that island that day. It's the same now. What's changed? Now you're saying that you want to know what happened on that island that day, so you can expose Ushirime Eva's her climb up the peak. Her crime. It isn't that exactly the same? Well, that's true, but I'm tired. So I'll sleep now. Would you mind staying quiet for a bit? Tell me when we get there. And promise that you won't turn Mzaki back on. Roger that. I wasn't particularly tired, really. I just said that because I didn't like talking about this. I was just tired of Amakusa. Don't become one. A child soldier. Ange, who decided to feign sleep, ignored him. But Amakusa kept talking. He wanted to make sure she heard at least this much. You started on a journey to learn the truth. It's becoming more and more a journey of revenge. A journey to have revenge by exposing the truth. But as you know, there's nothing left in Arkejima. There aren't even any traces left. Exposing the truth might not be a picnic. I know what Amakusa's trying to say. The police searched the scene so thoroughly just after the crime, and even they weren't able to find any physical evidence proving that Ushirome Eva was the culprit. Juniper, that is the one place you can't... Actually, okay, I guess you're not really blocking anything there. She's just right in front of the monitor. I can see. And a full 12 years have passed since then. If the truth could be discovered by a girl like me, waving wads of cash around to pick up a bit of info from those who were somehow related to the incident, then someone would have exposed the truth long ago. I might not be able to reach the truth. If so, then my desire to expose the truth, will probably fade away. After that, only my hatred for Ava will remain. So you gotta take up a hobby before then. Just like those child soldiers who forget their original purpose and live just to shoot. I'll forget my original purpose and live just to hate. I'll do nothing but despise Ushirome Eva, but my goal, exposing the truth for revenge, will be gone. So hating Ushirome Eva will become my whole life. I don't think Angie does have any hobbies, does she? This is just kind of her whole shtick. Is there any difference between shooting for revenge and shooting to live? When you pull the trigger, someone dies either way. And what about my case? Is there any difference between hating Ava as I expose the truth and hating Ava after I've given up? There's no difference. At the end, whether I find the truth or not, I'll just keep on cursing Ava over and over until I die. What a crappy life. But now, that's all I have left. Ushirome Eva stole my family, so we'll take revenge by exposing her crimes and showing the world. My consciousness was slowly drifting away into sleep. Why is Oni-chan showing me such a Okay, so we're back here now. Such a bizarre Rakenjima. Is this supposed to be the truth? Enough with this farce. Why is even Oni-chan trying to hide the truth from me? I'm trying to find it so that I can avenge him and the others. Or would Oni-chan say the same thing as Amakusa? That revenge is meaningless, so I should stop. Is that why he's speaking in riddles? Trying to make everything more confusing? That's none of his business. I'm not just trying to take revenge for their sakes. I'm doing it for my sake too. After all, that's the only reason I'm still alive. Taking revenge is my reason to live. I don't have a clue what Oni-chan is thinking. Maybe now we'll jump back to Rakenjima. Never know what episode it's gonna do. It's gonna change gears a few times. Outside, the rain had started to pour down hard. However, inside the cousin room, it was loud and cheery. It could have been raining spears, and no one would have paid any attention. I'm gonna check, by the way, do we have, like, Amakusa and future Ange in here now? No, they just don't bother adding him, huh? I already saw... Yeah, I already saw this. This. We're good. Hehehe. Full house. Take that. Whoa, you weren't bluffing. The cousins were all bursting with energy, sitting in a circle in the bed. I thought Battler always had crap in his hands every time he acted tough. Of course, I've been losing all this time just to make you think that. Ushiromiya Battler, the man who loses strategically to win in the end. Hehehe. Ooh, Battler's incredible. All my coins have disappeared again. I'll give you some of mine. Let's crush Battler together, okay? With just a deck of cards, the cousins could enjoy themselves for hours and hours. They were so engrossed that the occasional thunderbolt hardly even registered as static in the background. I'm starting to get hungry. Oh, here it is. Here's where George Fat comes from. He got hungry this one time. I wonder if dinner is ready yet. Who knows? It should be ready soon. Go-to-san and the others really went all out for tonight. Which means we've got a lot to look forward to. Is this to celebrate my long-awaited return? I heard from Shannon just now that it's going to be a Halloween party. They'll set up a buffet in the hall. Sounds incredible. A Halloween party? Incredible, incredible, ooh. Yeah, who is it? There was a knock, the door opened, and Angie was there. She had been sleeping in her parents' room. Hey, Angie. So you woke up? They said it's time for dinner, so we have to go to the mansion. They said to get ready. This looks like it might just be Peace Angie. Like, autonomous Angie. Ooh. You know, because she smiled. Food. I'm hungry. Perhaps because she was the hungriest, Maria celebrated more vigorously than anyone else. She jumped up happily and hopped off the bed. As the others all clambered off the bed and started putting their shoes on, Kirei and Rudolph came into view. Hey brats, time for food, so get ready. It looks like today will be extra special. I can't wait to see it. Ooh, I know. It's a Halloween party. A Halloween party? Hee. I know, Angie doesn't. Hee. Mom, what's a Halloween party? Who knows? We'll have to go and see for ourselves. Breakfast is food? I don't know. Let's see. That's such a specific question. It's just meshi, which is just like food, meal. So I think saying food's ready is actually the best thing that you could do, really. Also, is it even morning right now? Oh. Everyone ready? It's about time to go. Is everyone here? Please follow me. Maria, over here. Your collar is crooked. Crooked. I'm starving. The food is the best part of these family conferences. Are you starving too, Angie-chan? Ava smiled at Angie. Yeah, I'm starving. Angie, that's I'm hungry, right? Don't worry about it. I mean, you can definitely say food's ready in English and it's perfectly fine. You can ask, like, when's food gonna be ready? And, you know, people, like, know what meal you're talking based on the time of day. Time for food. It's because you don't live in America. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll bet you're starving. My stomach's rumbling too. It's very casual. It's colloquial. It's fine to say. No one would bat an eye at it. Okay, let's get out of here. Looks like the wind's blowing hard outside. Make sure you don't lose your umbrellas. Everyone, please take an umbrella. Here's your umbrella, Angie-chan. Thanks, Aunt Ava. Aw, girls really are so cute. Go over to play at your aunt's house one of these days. It's a promise, okay? Looks like Aunt Ava's taking a liking to Angie. Yep, apparently Mother really wanted a daughter. I've heard that too. I think she adored me too when I was little. My mama said she really wanted a son. Ooh. If your kid grows up happily, it doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl. Moria is my precious, precious gift from God. Battle really is making this whole thing up. She would never say that. When they got outside, the wind was fairly strong. Anyone have that image of Rosa with the world's #1 mom mug in her hand? Ava, who had really... in my throat. Who had really hit it off with Angie, offered to share an umbrella with the little girl. It was hard to tell what they were chatting, so excitedly about, but they seemed to be getting along splendidly already. Battler opened his umbrella as he watched this. His little sister was cute when she clung to him, but she was just as cute and adorable when looking up at someone else with a happy smile. The wind and rain were strong, but even this must have been the perfect spice to heighten their anticipation of the coming meal. Kinzu was alive, healthy, and is the best grandpa you could ask for. Wish you could see Junie right now. She's so cozy. Oh, don't bite. Never mind. She's grumpy. Thanks to some festive decorations, the main hall had been remade into the scene of a Halloween party. The Yoshida family always took meals in the dining hall. This was the first time I'd ever seen a buffet-style party set up in the main hall. Oh, she's got the dress. Yo, Battler. Hey, Maria. Long time no see. Beato, happy Halloween. Trick or treat. I have some candy for you, but now is not the time. After all, it's just before a meal. Thank you, Beatrice-san. I see you're looking as beautiful as ever. You too, Rosa. You certainly don't look old enough to be a mother. Wahaha. Have you been drinking? Your ears are looking pretty red there. Now after you left, he... Ginzo said he bought this rare drink, so I couldn't help but sample a bit. Underrated drinking in my Umineko. And this coming from a person who tells little kids not to eat candy before a meal. Pardon me. It's kind of unclear. No, I get the feeling... I mean, honestly, look. Everything in this world is nonsense. Beatrice and Shannon are in the same room. This is just an illusion for Angie. You can't really... I mean, I assume because she doesn't look like Leon, she still fell off the cliff. But then you have to say she, like, did the whole Yasu, Shannon, Cannon thing, yet Shannon's here. So, I don't know, really. I can't tell you. I don't think you can really logic it out very hard. Pardon me, Beatrice-sama. The master is calling for you. I saw Kinzo beckoning from over with a portrait. Good grief. When it comes to ceremonies, that man is always so obsessed with form. It's probably about that ceremony for the gold's return. This is a huge turning point for the Ushidome family. You better go play along. It does make one feel a bit lonely, though. This won't change the fact that you're the Ushidome family alchemist. Perhaps. Then I'll be back shortly. See you later, okay? According to Genji, today's party has a bit of a theme to it. You better look forward to it. You make it sound like you did any of the work. You're another one who obsesses too much over details. Later. I like the Beatrice that can say yo and later. Oni-chan, is something going to happen today? Is it a special day? It looked as though even Ange had picked up on that much. She seemed to be getting tense for no reason. This is a special day for the Ushidome family. This isn't the Beatrice from Italy, no. No, it's... She's specifically been called the granddaughter of the original Beatrice. She's very clearly made to be into... It's been made clear that she's the third Beatrice in the lineage. This really is the one that would have fallen off the cliff, or did fall off the cliff. Oh, if you mean like her mother? She hasn't shown up a single time or been mentioned, so I assume she still fell off the cliff and died. But again, I don't think Battler really thought that far ahead. I guess if it came up, he'd probably make something up. She'd probably just show up and everyone would be like, hey, there you are, other Beatrice. But I don't think that happens. This is a special day for the Ushidome family, but it doesn't have anything to do with you personally, so you should just relax. Okay, that's right. Hey, did you know? I just heard a huge secret from Aunt Ava. Even Mario Nechan doesn't know, but I'll tell you. Oh? So what's this secret? Okay. I heard that if you get an almond in yours, you win. Win? Is this like a lottery or something? Anyway, if you get an almond, you win. And you puffed out her cheeks. Apparently, she wanted to be praised for sharing this upsetting secret. But just knowing that almonds win doesn't really explain much. What does in yours mean? Okay, got it. Thanks for letting me know in on that major secret. You mean Oni-chan. She's already old enough to understand sarcasm. And I even told you my secret. Ange, her cheeks still puffed out, headed back to where Aunt Ava was. Sarcasm isn't even typically, like, really a big thing in Japanese humor, but I guess Battler. Well, you know, Kinzo's a Westabu. He taught his family sarcasm, I guess. They really are getting along well. Well, I guess I have no problem if it's her aunt. Yes, she's younger than Maria. She's 6 years old and Maria is 9 right now. Yep. Correct. If it was some guy from her class, I don't care if they're in elementary school. It's not happening. No playing with the opposite sex without Oni-chan's approval. At that moment, Genji-san's voice rang out. The chatter gradually subsided, and the rain outside once again became apparent. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask for your silence. Silence filled the room. All the relatives seemed vaguely aware that tonight's festivities consisted of more than a Halloween party. Battler already knew. This was a ceremony to mark the return of the gold from Kinzo to Beatrice, which had been borrowed for so many years. Now that fact was being announced by Kinzo himself. He spoke of how this gold had not only restored the Ushidome family, but brought it to a level of wealth it had never before experienced. He spoke of how he would finally return this gold to Beatrice, the one who had saved the Ushidome family. Kinzo personally handed an ingot, decorated with a bright red ribbon, to Beatrice. This is the debt we owe to 3 generations of Beatrice, the Golden Witch. The Ushidome family will never forget it. Sheesh. If you know where to put it, I'll be happy to take it off your hands. Beatrice-sama. It was hard to imagine Beato, of all people, getting admonished by Genji. Master your dignity. I couldn't help but laugh. I am Beatrice, the Ushidome family alchemist. Tonight, I acknowledge the end of the loan contract for the 10 tons of gold. Now, several decades following my grandmother's generation, the time has come for the eagle that lost one wing to fly once more. I will watch over that eagle, and I pray for its prosperity in all generations to come. A pause filled the hall. Though she'd managed to make such a dignified speech for once. Here. I guess I'll leave her over there. Because I can't really put her behind something because she wouldn't stick out correctly. Evening. Let's see. Okay. Though she'd managed to make such a dignified speech for once, as soon as it was over, she stuck her tongue out and leered at us. I guess that's about the limit to how long Beato can stay serious. By passing her name on through the generations, Beatrice, the Golden Witch, may live for thousands of years. Therefore, even her descendants shall be Beatrice, and all shall be alchemists to this family. The descendants of the Ushidome family will praise Beatrice for her gratitude forevermore, and this will be passed down through the generations. Beatrice canonically cannot have kids. Maybe in this world she can. Maybe she didn't fall off the cliff. This family will always be indebted to Beatrice, and she will always be our family, tied by a noble bond. Let those who acknowledge this show their recognition with their applause. Mario's so tall. After Genji's words, the relatives all looked at each other, then started applauding at once. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Beatrice, you are a member of the Ushida family, and that is a bond more sacred than one of blood. Of course, lending money is more important than being a blood relation. Beatrice-sama. Let me lighten the mood. After that, Kinzo's long-winded speech continued. Tonight, Kinzo would retire as the Ushida family head. Then, he now said he would reveal the distribution of his inheritance. A stir of excitement spread across the siblings in money trouble when they heard that they wouldn't have to wait for Kinzo's death to get their shares. I am aware that each of you is in trouble with money. This should be enough to resolve all of those problems, but do not grow complacent. This is my inheritance, given to you before my death. In the past, though I have been strict, I have always watched over you. However, beginning tonight, your father will cease to provide support of that kind. I shall watch on as you take flight, as though watching down upon you from the heavens. No longer will I interfere. You may live however you please. Dad. Father. We understand. We will certainly take flight on our own. Here and now, all the siblings sort of work together to make the Ushida family even more prosperous. That's right. If we stick together, nothing can stand in our way. Hideyoshi laughed, but Genji admonished him. However, he could understand why they were so happy. So far, the siblings had quarreled ruthlessly over the inheritance. Krust would immediately lose it to NFTs. I can't even feel sorry for him. However, this evening, the inheritance had been neatly split apart, and they no longer had any need to scheme for money. They still did it anyway, though, behind the scenes, I'm sure. In other words, the siblings no longer had any reason to squabble with each other anymore. Nuh-uh. On the contrary, this was a time for them to join hands and help each other become more and more prosperous. Fake future. Ava and Rosa were sniffling with tears in their eyes. And so was Rudolph. Perhaps now, despite the rages, they had finally left the nest for real. Tonight, the eagles of the Ushida family would leave Rokenjima, the nest weave from the witch's magic, and go their separate ways. With their own power and determination. The end. It made Kinzo think. If only I had done this from the start. If he had settled the inheritance problem himself, there would have been no need for his children to quarrel at all. Instead, he had acted in a sullen manner and left the problem to them, which had resulted in their strained relationships. Yes, it was all his responsibility, and now the intertwining bonds had been released. It was as though an invisible rope had been wrapped around Kinzo's body. That rope was now gone, and he felt a sense of release he hadn't experienced for many years. The four siblings stepped forward, and before Kinzo, they swore to all support Kraus, the new head, and lead the family to greater prosperity. Their faces sparkled with an unexpected youthfulness. It was only natural. After all, none of the four had made such a natural-feeling promise since the time they were kids. As the vibrancy of the youth returned to them, the siblings made a promise once again. When Kraus finished his announcement, a friendly applause filled the hall. The cousins, and the servants too, and Dr. Nanjo. He's not a servant, stop lumping him in. Joined in on the applause that continued on and on. Ange watched this, dumbfounded. The four siblings were supposed to have quarreled with each other constantly since they were kids, and they were supposed to have pointlessly locked swords with Kinzo's inheritance as their goal, their worries over money spurring them on. Thanks to this ceremony, even the world of truth, the world I acknowledge, has been rewritten. Were they actually friendly towards each other, or did they quarrel all the time like I believe? It doesn't matter. Either way, right here, right now, all of those problems have been resolved. I mustn't believe. This is just Oni-chan's farce. Even though I knew that fact, when I watched Dad and the others hugging each other, with teary smiles on their faces, I couldn't help but feel something warm welling up in my eyes. I won't believe. This is all Oni-chan's farce. It's only a fantasy. There's no world just for my family. What will you have to see? What will you have to hear before you let yourself believe? Red. If you say it with the red truth. Angie, please. Is everything that can't be said in red a lie? I won't believe. This is just... Angie looked at the floor and fell silent. Give it to me in writing. I'll print out a contract with my Game Boy printer. As the Game Master, Battler was able to use the Red Truth. However, that rule only exists on a witch's game board. In the world of humans, Red Truth doesn't exist. It's a hilarious pachinko. CG. Yeah, sure, I'll show it. Oh. I see. This is probably the best pachinko CG they've had so far, honestly. Huh? It's weird, the game would minimize properly. Here. Happy Halloween! People see things, hear things, and when they believe that something is worth believing, they accept that as a red truth. Unless Angie accepts it, no kind of truth can become truth. Yeah, I saw Genji. Can't miss him. Battler wanted her to realize this. There was no point in using the red truth, a rule of this game, to force the truth on her. Angie would have to use her own power, her own heart, to accept the truth as truth. You know, I don't know why, considering like they use the pachinko art, why didn't they put the pachinko CG in this, in the PC port? Like, I'm not saying I want it, I don't like the pachinko art in the least, but you might as well, right? Go all the way with it. The decision was Angie's. No one could force her to decide either way. So there was nothing wrong with Angie declaring the scene to be a farce. However, if they forced it on you when you were playing with the old graphics, I would be upset. I would be very, very upset. I play with old graphics on purpose for a reason, and I don't want the pachinko mixed in unless it's to laugh at it. But if so, then what about the hot tears dripping down Angie's face? Angie would have to think that through herself without anyone telling her. After one sniffle and a rub of her eyes, Angie let the 6-year-old version of herself take control of her piece. What followed was a harmonious, fun stretch of time. Beautifully adorned dishes were brought in one after another, and champagne corks were loosened with pleasant sounds. Several small tables were set here and there, each with its own theme. Junie, you've got more mats on your belly, honey. Don't chirp at me. Ragdolls, right? I don't like having to pull your hair out either. There we go. No more brushies now, you're fine. That was where the fun lay in this stand-up buffet party, as the guests wandered from table to table, pondering what they should eat first. I'm still holding out hope that someday we'll get another anime, like a proper one, from the start, done better, that finishes. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's unreasonably unlikely. I think it could happen. I've seen some of the pachinko animations. They're pachinko animations. It's not what I want. Not even close. This sort of performance was where Goda's genius shone through. Goda, your genius is showing. The hotel that let him go should have regretted ever having done so. Of course, a stand-up buffet would probably be a tiring affair for the middle-aged, so chairs had been set up as well. However, each time a new dish was brought into the hall, they could get up to look, wandering through the tables however they pleased. This way, they could each bump into a new group of people, then mingle elsewhere when that group melted apart. People are interesting. As the members in each group changed, so did the topic of conversation. The bustling Halloween party played out like a colorful kaleidoscope. The origami chains decorating the walls brought back youthful memories. Those would help anyone enjoy themselves like they were kids again. Even to Angie, it was like a dream. She chatted happily with her cousins. She also chatted with her aunts and uncles. Beato showed her several tricks that she called magic. Mario said they were magic, Angie said they were tricks, and the night grew even more lively. Thankfully, Erica wasn't there. The two young girls were so fired up that the adults decided to show them some tricks they knew, shocking both of the kids utterly. Eventually, they each started showing tricks to the others, asking if they'd ever seen this one or that one before. And it became a party of magic just perfect for Halloween. In addition to magic tricks, several quizzes, riddles, and games popped up, reminding everyone of their childhood days. Even the servants who were serving food got dragged into the groups, and the whole hall was filled with cheddar. I mean, I think what happens in the games where Erica's there, like they find her on the shore, and the games where she's not there, she's just dead on the shore. And no one knows. Or you could argue she's just not there too. We don't really know for sure. I don't think like if Erica is just something inserted into the games by Brent Castell, or if she kind of exists and Burnt Castell is using her, and she's highlighting those fragments where she's alive. Umineko's weird. Catbox and all that. It's intentional. Yeah, dead on arrival. To Angie, young as she was, every single magic trick, quiz, and riddle was an entirely new experience. They stimulated her intellectual curiosity, and she couldn't contain her excitement. Add in the wide variety of delicious foods and drinks she could choose from, and it was like being in a dream. Angie felt a floaty sensation, as though she was walking on a cloud. Angie, did you drink some of this? This is Daddy's drink. I wanted to try some adult grape juice too, so it's okay. Your face is looking a little red there. Are you feeling alright? She only had a bit, so I think she'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm not a kid. You're 6 years old. Angie-chan, drink this one, okay? That stuff your dad drinks is nasty, so don't try anymore, got it? That's right. If you drink bad stuff, you'll end up as a bad adult too. Ehehe. I'm not gonna be a bad adult. I'm gonna be a princess. That's right. Angie is our princess. Yep. She's our family's princess. I agree. You'd better come over to my house to play sometime. We'll have lots of fun. Okay. Thanks, Aunt Ava. Everyone's being really nice. It almost feels like I've become a real princess. I feel so great I can almost believe that this whole celebration was being held for my sake. Butler stood outside that group of people. As he watched Angie smiling happily from the distance, you mean, I would say a distance, he smiled too. When she smiles like that, she really lives up to her name. It's so sad. I agree. It really is a smile fit for an angel. I hope that smile comes from the real Angie, and not just the piece. Even if it doesn't, she's watching this, and she can think it through herself. This game between you and Angie really is overflowing with affection, so much that it's irritatingly slow for me. And what's wrong with that? There's no one to get in her way. No obstacles or tactics or anything else to worry about. That's right. This game is no longer a battle. We can change Battler's name now. Now that you mention it, this is cleaning up. Cleaner. You are now a janitor. Cleaning up after our game. I'll never be able to make up for the sin I did to her through my careless actions. We have to take responsibility for our game. We'll make up for our sins together. That's why we're showing Angie this final game. Do you think that Angie will be able to use that key the right way? Of course. I've thought about forcibly dragging her in the direction we think is right. Such an attempt would probably have been meaningless. When you're forced to make a decision, it's hard to accept that it was truly a correct one, no matter how much time passes. Exactly. Angie has to think and choose for herself. Even if she doesn't make the decision we view as the correct one, I think we should respect it. You are the game master. I cannot argue with you anymore. I will simply watch on and enjoy this night. This game is really significant for Angie, but for us it's kind of like a party after the show. It's almost time, but are you sure? Angie might get the wrong idea again, right? It'll be fine. In fact, this is necessary, just like how you appeared in the way you did. And everyone else too. Then let us enjoy this final celebration with the others. After all of them have acted their parts so well in this long game. That instant, the sound of someone clapping for attention rang out. Your attention, everyone. Please gather. And now for today's special event. Goda had been the one clapping. Everyone gathered together, wondering what was going on. On the serving cart in front of him was a large, sliced chocolate cake. As the highlight of tonight's Halloween party, I prepared this sasher tort, I don't know, for you all. As you can see, it was made specially for the Ushina family, and bears the crest of the one-winged eagle in chocolate. The stupendous cake drew a gasp of admiration from all present. What a splendid cake. A perfect highlight for the party. Oh no, it's not just the cake. Tonight's cake is a little secret. Master asked that you explain the secret to everyone. Very well. This is a bit of a game. One slice of this cake will be used to select the winner. I can't keep his voice consistent. It's got an almond in it, Angie shouted happily. Kings looked at her and nodded. In just one slice of this cake, there is a single almond. The one who chooses that piece shall become tonight's king. Ooh, it's been a long time since I played the king game. I'm guessing the subject matter was of a different when you played it. So what happens to the person who becomes the king? The king gets to name one wish. Then we shall all try to grant it together. Ooh, sounds interesting. Ooh, kings are boys. Girls can't be kings. If a girl wins, they get to become the princess. And the queen would make more sense, but sure. The almond, the one with the almond wins. right? That's right. You're incredible, Angie. In times like this, luck can tell you something about a man. Can't let myself lose now. Hold up there. Let's let the smallest kids choose first. Good idea. Angie-chan, you can go first. Hey, you're the big cousin now, Maria. Let Angie-chan go first. Ooh, but what if Angie wins? Ooh. I am gonna win. The almond wins. The almond wins. It seems we old fogies must hope that leftovers are lucky today. If we're going by age, I guess that means Kinzo's last. Oh, haha, but weren't you 1,000 years old? No. Everyone burst out laughing. Her real age was unknown, but she claimed to be 19 years old. So older than Valor. In front of Angie lay a large cake, split into several pieces. Just one of those pieces was the winner. Well then, Angie-sama, which piece would you like? Whichever you choose, it will be ever so delicious. No way, I only want the winning one. Give me the winning piece. Well then, you'll have to try and guess right in the first shot. Go ahead, pick one. Bella pushed Angie's small bag towards the table with the cake. Which one should I take? The chocolate cake was cut into 15 pieces. I forget, I think you actually get to pick here. I'm not sure. I think you might. I want to pick the one with the almond and become the princess. One of them has an almond. Which could it be? I get to choose first, but it sort of feels unfair. I mean, it is, isn't it? My chances of getting the right one are 1 in 15. There's no way I'll get it. And then when Mario Chan goes after me, she has a 1 in 14 chance of picking the winner. Assuming you didn't get the winner. That's not how this works. You are a child. I mean, even what she's thinking through here, even though it's wrong, the fact that she's thinking about probabilities at all is kind of surprising for a 6-year-old. The next person is a 1 in 13 chance, then a 1 in 12 chance, and the last person will win for sure. Oni-chan, this isn't fair. It's harder for the person who goes first. Everyone laughed. Apparently there was something wrong with my calculations, but I still didn't like it. Then let us start this contest of luck with Angie-sama. Please feel free to make your selection. Okay. If I have to pick one out of so many, there's no way I'll win. But for some reason, tonight, it feels like I might actually win after all. I have a reason for feeling this way, but when I'm in a good mood, Lady Luck always brings me fortune. You decided yet? Yeah, I've decided. This one's the winner. I concentrated on my fingertip and pointed at one of the 15 slices. The slice I chose was... Oh yeah, you do get to choose this slice. We'll choose one... Oop. Oop. Okay, apparently I picked one. I didn't mean to. Yeah, episode 8 has several player interactions. What a concept, right? This one. This one? Are you sure? I made up my mind. I want this one. When he asked me whether I was sure, I felt a little uneasy. It's the Monty Hall problem, Angie. He's gonna take a piece of cake for himself that he knows is the loser. He's gonna ask you if you want to switch. You have to say yes. Good luck explaining the Monty Hall problem to a child. Most adults don't get it. Still, at times like this, it's better to stick with your instincts. It was one of the few bits of philosophy that this young girl had learned from her few life experiences. Goda took the chosen slice, put it on a plate with a fork, and handed it to Angie. The Monty Hall problem is outside the scope of this stream. I'm not explaining the Monty Hall problem. Go look up a YouTube video on it. It's very interesting. It's math, it's probability, and it's not intuitive, but it makes sense. I would be here for like 10 minutes yapping about it, probably. I go next. Ooh, which should I take? It was Mara's turn next. She was excited, determined to be the winner. I walked away from that group all by myself. I was struck by a temptation to quickly cut the cake open and check for an almond inside. However, I stopped myself. If I check my piece first, my chance of winning is 1 in 15. However, if I wait for some other people to check their slices, then when I see that they've lost, my chances will go up, if only slightly. Stop trying to RNG manip your almond. In other words, instead of searching for the almond right away, my chances will go up if I wait for some other people to lose. But if someone picks a winner while I'm sitting around here, the chances of my slice being a winner will go to 0. I don't remember. I feel like it's just going to give Angie the win automatically, but I don't really recall, to be honest. I totally forgot about this part until today. It'll be tough to calculate the right moment. I need to wait just long enough for as many losers to show up as possible. My chances of winning are highest if I can check my piece immediately before someone else wins. Yeah, that's the trick to winning this game. Child logic. What a strange thought. Feels like I'm missing something? Even though no one else can touch the cake that's sitting in front of me, the almond inside it will appear or disappear depending on whether or not the other people win or lose. I was in such a good mood that I felt dizzy, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my theory. Okay, now we're explaining Schrodinger's cat to a 6-year-old. That's probably easier than the Monty Hall problem, but it's still kind of a tall order. But I did realize that something was strange. There is always just one truth inside a cat box. No matter what happens outside the box, it shouldn't be able to shake the truth inside. And yet, I'm being shaken about by events outside the cat box, trying to use those to change the way I observe the box's contents. I don't even know what I'm saying. I know the me inside me is trying to say that, but it's too hard for me to understand. I'm 6 years old and what is this? I feel like I'm drifting. I got so cheery and excited that, even though I'm not sleepy, my mind feels hazy. Maybe it's because I drank Dad's adult drink. Probably. That's probably it. In the end, even though I chose the first piece, I decided to check it last. After I've seen that everyone else has lost, my chances of winning will be 100%. I tried to find the contradiction in my thinking, but I didn't really get it, so I stopped. It's much better to have a 100% chance than a 1 in 15 one, so I decided to bet on that. You're right, Angie, you're totally right. I couldn't wait to open this precious treasure chest, but I waited for everyone else to choose their pieces and check them. How is it going? Has anyone found a winner? Ooh, mine didn't have one. I lost 2. Guess I'll have to give up on being the princess. Even if you lose, this French cake really is beautiful and delicious. It's such a good decoration, it's almost a shame to eat it. How about you? Got the almond? No, not me either. What about you, Hideyoshi-Nisan? Mine's a loser too. Looks like I've used up all my luck with my company and my wife. What exactly do you mean by that? What about you, Dr. Najo? I'm checking it now. Games like this can truly be fun every now and then. Indeed. Sometimes a simple test of luck, without any strategy or tactics, can be quite entertaining. What about you, Beato? Where's the liar who said leftovers would be lucky? What about you, Angie? Was there an almond in yours? I'm checking now. Oh, you still haven't touched yours? I'd been following my own personal probability theory, but I didn't think I could explain it well to Oni-chan, so I didn't mention it to him. I wonder if there's an almond in here. If I win, I'll be tonight's princess. I'll be happy if I win, but even if I don't, it'll still be a really fun night, so that's okay. It got put on hold when this cake game started, but before then, everyone was having a lot of fun trading tricks, quizzes, and riddles. This game is fun too, but I want to play like that again soon. Huh? What's up, Angie? Oh? I lifted up that tiny thing with my fork and stared at it, then showed it to my brother. This is an almond, right? Whoa, Angie got it! That's awesome. At the same time, Esther rose up in the other corner of the room. I got one. I won. Oh, so Ava won. My. Congratulations, Ava-sama. That's wrong. I won. Mine is the almond. I held the almond high and shouted across the room. The crowd around Ava split and everyone stared at me, surprised. I was surprised too. The thing in her hand was, without a doubt, an almond. What the heck? What's going on here? Goda, there seem to be 2 almonds, so were they both winners? But that shouldn't have. Does this mean that one of the 2 winners made a mistake? Did they just accidentally summon an almond? They made a mistake? Angie-sama's is clearly an almond. How about your end, Ken-kun? Ava-sama's is clearly an almond. Oh, then it seems that they both win. Master. What an odd occurrence. What's all this, Goda? Well, it seems we've had a little mistake. I could only count to 1. Perhaps they should do rock, paper... Come now, don't be stingy. It just means that 2 almonds have appeared to signify the queen and the princess. Precisely. Let's have them both be winners. Well, but... Goda was hesitant. Actually, he had prepared a single special dessert for the king. They can just split it. It hadn't been... Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. I was immediately shut down. It had been decorated in such a way that made it hard to split for 2 people. Just give the better part to Angie, then. So it wasn't convenient for there to be 2 kings. When Ava heard Goda mumbling something to this effect, she shrugged and laughed. In that case, let's have Angie-chan be the princess. The princess? I'm the princess? I'll be your attendant. That works, right? Of course it worked. Angie had been worried that Ava would be declared the winner since she had spoken up first. So she hadn't even dreamed that Ava would give it up to her. But are you sure? You won too. It's okay. I get to be your attendant. Come, princess. What wish do you want granted? Let's hear it. I've already chosen my wish. Oh? And what is it? Why don't you tell your aunt? I want this fun time to keep on going. Forever. The young me spoke for the desire in my heart. But what we were doing before this was fun, so I'd like to keep doing it. I get the feeling that the nuance has changed. Still, that was unmistakably my wish. What we were doing before this? Oh, you mean this tricks and quizzes? Yeah, then let's do this. Listen up, everyone. This is an order from your princess. Remember how much fun we were having earlier? Let's all entertain Ange-chan with tricks and quizzes. Oh boy. Now I get humiliated. Here's the really interactive part of episode 8. Hold up there. I've already used up all my magic tricks. Let's do quizzes and riddles. So we just need to entertain Ange-chan with quizzes? We can all present quizzes for our princess to enjoy. I see. Understood. Yes, how intriguing. Yes, Ange, let us do it this way. Everyone will give you a quiz or a riddle and you can try to solve them. Each time you succeed, I will give you a medal. A medal? You probably mean some sort of commemorative medallion. If you get a lot of puzzles right, you'll get a lot of medals. Oh, just gathering medals is a tad boring, don't you think? Yes, depending on the number of medals you collect, I shall give you a fantastic present. Well, do you suddenly feel fired up? It sounds amazing. So there's even a prize. Isn't that great, Ange? Yeah. Everyone gathered around me, smiling, as they thought about what sort of puzzle they'd give. They're all thinking about me so that they can play with me. Just the feel of having that all to myself almost made me explode with joy at becoming the princess. Not in front of Ange. At least it was censored. Bad influence. I became the Halloween party princess, and the tournament of quizzes and riddles just for me began. It looks like I get a medal for each puzzle I get right. If I get a lot, I'm supposed to get a wonderful prize from grandfather. Okay, here I go. Who should I start with? I don't think it matters. Start with whomever you like. I'd better think of a killer puzzle while I have the chance. Which one is the rarest? They're all the same, actually. I'm pretty sure it just picks one at random from the pool. I don't think I could set percentages with how the system worked. But arguably the best one to get is Jackhammer Patchy, because I think that's the most expensive one to go for deliberately. So not rarest, but the most valuable. Mario, didn't you have a quiz book in your bag? Ooh, I do. Hehehe, I'm gonna give Ange a nasty one. Mario and Achan laughed with an evil smile. Looks like everyone's going to try and bully me. I'm sure they'll think up some really hard questions. Don't worry, I'll lend a hand. Really? Of course. After all, I'm the princess's attendant. So let's give it all together and get a huge pile of medals. Okay. Come now, Ange-sama. Start wherever you want. I'm ready to challenge you whenever you please. Whoa, not so fast. The honor of the first audience with the princess belongs to me. Ange, begin with my challenge. Yeah, I guess I could have simulated a way like that. I don't think I did, but it's been a while since I set it up. I gotta like revamp all that stuff sometime. I'm thinking of getting rid of like the individual redeems and just keeping the random one, honestly, because they take up a lot of like slots in there. The whole menu is kind of messy, right? But I don't know. I want to get feedback on that. Give me your thoughts. Give me your energy. Okay. I suddenly got tense and my stomach began to feel tight. Then Aunt Eva gently held my hand. It'll be okay. Let's do this together. Okay. Then let's begin, Ange. This is a story about December 25th, Christmas Day. Christmas? Time for me to be bad at puzzles. Even though it was October, he suddenly started talking about Christmas. Is he going to ask what day Christmas is? I know that. It's December 25th. On Christmas Day, a woman looked up at the night sky and spoke. Eventually, the night will end and morning will come. Wouldn't it be wonderful if, after the sun sinks and it becomes night once more, it could be Christmas again? And then the man spoke. Okay, I'll make your dream come true for you. Is such a thing possible? The day after Christmas is the 26th, the normal day. That's impossible. Still Christmas even after the sun rises. Oh, I've got it. Huh? How? How could the day after Christmas be Christmas again? Think about it for yourself, Ange. I don't know, time zones? I think you just have to answer A or B, not show your logic, so I'm just gonna say yes. And they're probably going to explain it. Yeah, like, Japan has multiple time zones, I think. Oh, I see. It is possible. A 6-year-old isn't going to understand time zones to that extent, but let's put that aside. Yeah, that's right. After all, there are 2 nights in every day. Right. December 25th starts at 12 midnight. Midnight is during the night, so that's the first night. Okay, you want to think about it like that, I guess? Okay. Sure. It's... Then morning comes and when night falls again, it's still the same day until midnight. Okay, that's not what I was thinking. That's a bit more abstract, but okay. Exactly. And both of those nights are nights on Christmas Day. Am I awesome? Am I awesome? With a delighted smile, Aunt Ava patted my head vigorously. Wahaha. Well done, Angie. I tried to make it a hard question, but you solved it like it was nothing. You're smarter than me. Congratulations, Angie-sama. Here is a medal for getting the first question right. Genji-san held out a gold-colored medal. Grandfather smiled at me, urging me to take it. Thank you. Keep up the pace. Well, now that is all for my puzzle. Head over there and ask whomever you choose for a quiz. It was a heavy gold-colored medal. If I get a lot of these right, my pocket might burst. I'm going to get so many that I can brag about it to everyone. After bowing to Grandfather, I hurried off with Aunt Ava to where everyone else was gathered. You got one medal. I could save scum this, but I don't think there's really much purpose for it. I don't really care about like a Steam achievement or anything if there is one, so I'll just do it normally. Kinzo watched Angie go with a warm gaze. Did I make it a bit too easy? No, I think it was just right. Genji, have I managed to act the part of a good grandpa? Of course. Angie is young, and she frequently grows sick and is unable to come to Rakenjima. She probably won't remember me well. Young children have their own kind of cruelty. So it's like the Chaos Emeralds. I see. I mean, he knew from the start he could do gameplay elements, he just chose not to. They think of kindness as something they'll naturally receive. And because they think of kindness as only natural, they forget about it quickly. You need to keep in mind, like, you needed the entirety of Higurashi before this, too. He's been making VNs for a while. I'm sure he knows it's an interactive medium. It's a funny thought, like that, though, yes. It is no different from gratitude to one's parents. It will probably take Angie-sama many years before she understands. Do you think she will eventually remember that I was a fun grandpa? Yes, I'm certain of it. Kinzo's expression grew slightly darker. Eventually, even Angie will get older, and she will probably hear how the public at large regards Ushimiya Kinzo. The Ushimiya Kinzo known by the public is completely different from the Kinzo who plays with his grandchildren. When she learns, will Angie remember the face of Kinzo the Tyrant, known of by the world, or that gently smiling face? I would hope for her to remember my smile if possible, but such a thing is probably too much to ask for. Poor Kinzo, tragic character. Made some mistakes, but tragic character. There's no way around it. That's what children are. Oh, it's you. Children just eat up kindness, and it never remains in their memories. By the time 12 years have passed, she will surely learn what a bizarre, eccentric Ushimiya Kinzo was. His smiles faded to be painted over by that and forgotten. Most probably. No matter how much I spoil her, my love will not be rewarded. However, just as it takes a long time to remember what you owe your parents, Angie will surely remember someday. She'll remember the smiles you showed her. Let her forget. One smile from her is the greatest parting gift I could ever take with me when my time comes. This is the instance of unrewarded love. I guess grandfathers are always unrewarded. Oh, but I have been rewarded. With Angie's smile just now to look back upon. I could happily pass on in my sleep tonight. Wahaha. With a lonely laugh, Kinzo spun around, setting his cape fluttering. This was all the love he could offer Angie as a grandfather. Part of him wanted to be remembered, but he knew he mustn't wish for that. That was how unrewarded love worked. After looking at Kinzo's back, Beato stared at Angie's back again. Angie, even so, please remember it someday. Remember the smile that Kinzo once showed you. I don't think all of them have scenes quite like that if you win them, but I'm not sure. Again, my memories of like episode 8 are a little bit vague compared to the others. I've never done a replay of 5 through 8 before until now, after all. Uncle Kraus and Aunt Natsu are over there. They're looking this way and smiling. I'm sure they've thought up some interesting puzzles. There's Uncle Hideyoshi beckoning for me to come over. He's a fun uncle, so I'm sure he's thought of a fun question. Mom and Dad are across from him. They're waving at me, telling me to have lots of fun. Dad probably knows a lot of really hard questions. He might be tough. Over there is Aunt Rosa and Mario and A-chan. Looks like they're reading a quiz book together, searching for a problem. Every now and then, Mario and A-chan glances over at me, saying, hee 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 hee. She can be mean sometimes, so I'm sure her puzzle won't be a nice one. Beyond them are Battler and A-chan, Giorgio and A-chan, and Jessica and A-chan. Battler and A-chan is usually nice, but he sometimes says really mean things, and I think he likes seeing me get confused. I get the feeling that he'll give me a really tough problem. Is there anyone who looks like they won't be mean? If I can, I'd like to start with some easy puzzles to warm me up. All the way over there are Genji-san and Dr. Nanjo. I don't think those two will be mean to me. And then there's Shannon and Cannon. Shannon knows a lot about quizzes and fairy tales. I'm sure she'll give me something unique. Then we have Goto-san and Kumasawa-san who are serving tea. Kumasawa-san might be tough. I kinda think she'll give me a really confusing problem. Looks like everyone might be pretty tough. Ange-chan, I've got a good one for you. Over here. Uncle Hideyoshi is calling for me. What should I do? Should I go? Do you want to try Uncle Hideyoshi? Yeah, the order doesn't matter. After all, I'm gonna challenge everyone. I rolled up my sleeves and headed towards Uncle Hideyoshi. Wahaha. She did go right over Goto. You're right. Oops. Here you are. Mine's a tricky one, okay? I wonder what sort of question you'll give her. Don't make it too hard, okay? It's okay if it's hard. I'll solve it. Ooh, looking pretty confident there. Okay, here it comes. After clearing his throat, Uncle Hideyoshi started telling his question. Mine's a riddle. Listen closely now. You know the story of Momotaro, right? The boy who floated down a river in a peach? James and the giant peach, correct. Exactly, Angie. That's right. But you know, one day an apple floated down that river. An apple? Yep. And the next day a butternut squash floated down it. I hate butternut squash. And then the next day some cabbage floated down it. And the next day a dill pickle did. And the next day an eggplant floated by. The next day after that a fig did. I mean, I see we're going in alphabetical order here. So that's going to be the trick. What a strange tale. Did a greengrocer live upstream or something? Okay, here's the question. What floated down the river the next day? Something beginning with G. Huh? I've got it. Grapes. Grapefruit. Do you get it, Angie-chan? I don't get it. Then I'll give you a hint. There's a pattern to the things that float down the river. Can you guess what the pattern is? Gundam. A Gundam floated down the river. An edible Gundam. Wahaha, what a huge hint. A grapefruit. A. I know, it's a grapefruit. That's right, it wasn't one of the choices, but green beans would have worked too. The names all follow the alphabet. Apple was A, butternut squash was B, cabbage was C, it kept going with D, E, and F. So after F comes G. That's why the answer had to be something that started with G. Thanks, Sante, but I got it right thanks to your hint. You solved it by yourself, Angie-chan. Incredible. Yep, nice work. Now here's your medal for getting it right. Hideyoshi took out a gold-colored medal and placed it on my palm. It felt heavy in my hand. Yeah, this is what victory feels like. I'd better keep it up. You got one medal. Junie, you got more mats, honey. I'm gonna brush this poor cat. Hold on. Okay. More mats out of her. It's a bit better. There's still an order though. So they could have still followed the order, you know, a, I, U, E, O, Kaki, Kuki, Ko, Sashi, Suse, So. There is still an order. I don't know how far back it'll let me go. I can't go back to the full puzzle, but yeah. It's a, I, U, E, O, I see here. Then it starts with Ka as, so, a, U, E, O, Ka. So the one that you were given is Ki, so it's still the 7th letter. So you have to do something that starts with Ki. So she does cabbage. Because of how Japanese works, it's Ki, small ya, betsu. Kabetsu. And they say that you could also have done cucumber, kyuri, because that also starts with Ki. So it's the same puzzle. They just localized it. It was good. I've got another medal for Ava's puzzle, but I can't think of any more. Then maybe I should give Angie-chan a puzzle. Huh? You will? Sure. How about a quiz for the princess from her attendant? I've thought of a fun one, so please, have a go at it. Anteva smiled brightly. I want to get as many medals as possible, so of course I want as many chances as I can get. Okay, I'll have a go at it. Let me just make sure real quick there's no big deal for getting all the medals. I don't think there is. I think at the end, like, it lets you restart the section if you feel like it. Yeah, you just get some extra dialogue. You get a different prize at the end. What do people think? Okay. let's do this. I'll try everyone on my own once, and if I get it wrong, I'll reload. Prevent Erica from arriving. Good end, good end. It doesn't affect the game significantly, but it'll get like some extra dialogue from like the character or something, like thinking about Angie or like trying to teach her a lesson or something. So I will do that. That's the spirit. Okay, here it comes. We've talked about how you love to travel, haven't we? Yeah, you said you like traveling overseas a lot. By the way, I don't like riddles. I don't play Professor Layton. I tried the first game once. I hated it. I despised that game. It's not the kind of game for me. That's right. So this will be a puzzle about traveling. There was a traveler in a certain place. A traveler. First, the traveler walked 5 kilometers north. Should I write this down on a piece of paper? Don't worry. The puzzle isn't that hard, so listening to it will be enough. The traveler first walked 5 kilometers north. Then he walked 5 kilometers to the east. Then 5 kilometers to the south. 5 kilometers north, east, south. You mean like a blocky N? That's right. So he did end up at a spot 5 kilometers to the east of where he started. That's what you'd think, right? But incredibly, this traveler ended up in the exact same spot he started. Something so mysterious possible? Wow, there's no way. His compass must have gone crazy. Of course it didn't. Do you know Angie-chan? It wasn't because of his compass? Is this a play on words? No, this is a real quiz. For a hint, why don't you try thinking about a globe? I mean, I assume he's on a very tiny planet. Right? Or I guess the correct answer is probably like the south or north pole or something, right? So it's a very cold place. But if you're on a 5 kilometer diameter planet, yeah, like if you're on King Kai's planet from Dragon Ball, then every time you walk 5 kilometers in any direction, you'll be back where you start. You know? I envision it like that. But Angie just doesn't have the right imagination. Yeah, I think it's B. It's supposed to be one of the poles or something, I guess. I got it. It's a really cold place. Yeah, it must be incredibly cold there. Perfect. Angie-chan, you must really be a genius to get something like that at your age. If you start at the South Pole, then if you go north, going east just draws a circle around the South Pole. So anytime you head south again, that just takes you right back to the South Pole. I tried to make it an extra hard puzzle, but Angie-chan was just too good. Congrats. Here's another medal for you. I got a heavy gold-colored medal. All right, I did it. Aunt Ava and I held up our fists in celebration. Okay, that's all for our puzzles. Go ask one of the others to give you one. Okay, thank you, Uncle Hideyoshi. Your aunt's really clever. With the two of you together, you'll be getting medals right and left. All right. Yep, that's right. Yeah, let's do our best together, Aunt Ava. I keep petting Juniper. And I feel more mats on her every time, like, here. You need brushing, honey. You need brushing. She's a ragdoll. She's got one, like, here on her back, too. Not that big, but if I don't get it, it's gonna get bigger. She hates being brushed, generally. Because, you know, you gotta loosen up the hair and you gotta pull it out. It's not comfortable for her. But her kind of breeds can't really deal with their hair themselves fully a lot of the time. Because it's so fine, it gets tangled and matted and everything. She's actually being pretty good right now. She's not, like, whining or anything. Oh, now she's whining. All this. This looks like I just took out hair, but this is really matted hair here. You still got some right here on your back that you just can't reach, huh, honey? Oh, let's get that out. Come on. You behave. Cat grooming stream. She did this to herself by sitting up in front of the monitor, right in front of me, where I can't ignore her. If she wants attention, she's gonna get attention, one way or another. I've been giving her pets this whole time, don't worry, she's getting good attention that she likes to. She gets that all day long, doesn't she? She gets mats, like, near her butt, too, and she really hates when you go for those ones. But those are the worst ones. They're the most serious ones if they're not dealt with, aren't they, Junie? Aren't they? No, I don't bathe any of my cats. Typically, from what I hear, you don't really want to bathe cats unless, like, you really need to. I looked into it, like, is it good to bathe rag dolls? Like, if they're matted, and I don't really think you need to. She's not that bad. I try to tend to her often. Oh, you big whiner. I don't think you guys can hear her whining through the mic, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately. But she's growling at me a little. Okay. A little bit more right here, then we'll be done, okay, June? Oh, angry. Oh, she's so pissed. Your back is feeling nice and smooth. I feel like, honestly, she could use a shower because, like, her hair gets kind of greasy. It's not really supposed to happen with cats, I don't think. It's supposed to be greasy. Okay, alright. That'll do. That'll do. My trash is full of cat hair now. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. There we go. Good girl. So clean and happy. So content. Junie. Alright, honey. Alright, cat break over. But she's not going anywhere, don't worry. She usually doesn't stay put for brushing for that long. Good girl today. She knows she's being watched by people. Okay, didn't mean to minimize the game. Alright. I dashed away. Who will I ask next? Oh, she's standing up. Junie, I really can't see. Okay, she just switched positions. Well, you want me to brush that side now? You've had enough. Here, I want to, like, show here. June. Come on, honey. Lay down like you just were, so I can show them your big fluffy belly. Junie. June. Right. Nope. She's gonna be a grump. Cats are fickle things. They're very fickle. But they're beloved. Who will I ask next? Uncle Hideyoshi waved goodbye, smiling. You got 1 medal. Hideyoshi and Ava watched as Angie ran off happily, looking for the next quiz. See, I guess it's good to do this because you do get this dialogue. Kind of wistful. Meaningful. Even though that kid can wear such a cute smile, I will be the one who takes that away from her. Ava. Ava hung her head. A single tear sparkled in her eye. Her reaction was only natural, considering how she felt, but I wasn't able to see past and accept her feelings. It can't be helped. They're as human as anyone else. Other cat. Humans tend to be more fragile than you'd think. Even so, it was my fault. After all, I already had the experience of bringing up a child, right? I should have become her mother. And yet, I let sadness overwhelm me, and I didn't do it at all. It can't be helped, I tell you. Don't think you were the only one at fault. You shouldn't blame yourself so much. By now, Ava was unable to hold back her sobs. Large tears dripped down her cheeks as she stared at the ground and shook. What a sin I've committed. My sadness was no greater than hers. And yet I decided that I was suffering the most, so I didn't accept her feelings. A failure of a mother. I wasn't able to become a mother for her. That's wrong. You did your best for Ava and A-san. Oh, that's not Hideyoshi talking. Thanks, Kirie-san, but why do you sound like my husband? Please don't make fun of his accent. Kirie and Rudolph were both standing behind Ava now. I know the lengths you went to keep the truth from Angie. You held it well, Aniki. Guess that daughter of ours really has been a pain and clues about how much you suffered. After the accident on Rakenjima, Ava, the only one who left Rakenjima alive, adopted Angie, the girl who had been absent and survived. While they would eventually develop a sad and mutually painful relationship, It wasn't like that at first. Ava tried to show affection for Angie, her last remaining blood relative. She tried to become Angie's new mother, even as she fought back the sadness she herself felt. However, Angie wasn't able to accept that kindness. She lashed out at Ava, the only one who had returned alive, for stealing her parents away from her. Ava, understanding the wounds that this little 6-year-old girl bore, withstood these attacks. She grit her teeth and poured all of her affection into Angie, affection that went ignored. However, the wounds Ava herself bore were also extremely deep. She was never rewarded for her sad efforts, and the future in front of her grew dark. You tried to show Angie the same affection you once showed George-kun, but that was just for my own satisfaction. Angie-chan never felt any of it. Angie was the one who couldn't accept it. It isn't your fault. But who could possibly ask that of Angie-chan when she was just 6 years old? I should have held out much, much longer, until she could understand my feelings. Ebene-san, I want you to believe one thing. We don't blame you in the slightest. Kirie-san, thank you so much for suffering so long for Angie's sake. If that kid has a human heart, then I'm sure she'll recognize the affection you showed her someday. Thank you, Aniki. Always be grateful. Isn't that wonderful, Ava? Your efforts haven't gone unnoticed. Sorry to ruin the moment. I should just skip those lines, honestly. Like, I'm not going to imitate actual crying and moaning. Hey, it's Goda. He is here. He was hiding. How are you doing, Anji-sama? If you wish, I, Goda, would be pleased to challenge you. Oh, and I, Kuwasawa, have a very tricky puzzle for you. It doesn't matter how hard it is. I'm not alone. I'll solve it with Aunt Ava. Hey, Aunt Ava is our hint system. Goda and Kuwasawa offered to challenge me. I'll have to go up against everyone in the end, so it doesn't matter who comes next. I waved at Aunt Ava to hurry up, and she ran toward me. So we're challenging this pair next? Who will we start with? Okay, Goda-san. Very well, as you wish. Here's my puzzle. Oh, I'll warn you, it's a toughie. I'll still solve it. I've gotten the knack of it. You'd better not underestimate Anji-chan, right? Right. My. Well then, being the humble chef I am, here's a puzzle about food in the kitchen. I hate food in the kitchen. We'll fight together this time. If you don't get it, just ask me to lend a hand. I'll give you a hint. If I get a hint, does that mean I won't get a medal? It won't affect your medals at all, so feel free to ask away. Alright, let's save first. You get a nice little Ask Aunt Ava button. In a witch's house, there was a magic kitchen. Every day it would serve a freshly made meal for the witch when she returned at an appointed time. One day, the witch had to work very late. When she finally got home, all the food greeted her. Welcome home, great witch. I've made some vegetable stew for you, said the stew in the pot. Welcome home, great witch. Please quickly dip me in the stew and eat me, said the hard bread. Welcome home, great witch. You must be thirsty. Please drink me right away, said the white wine. Welcome home, great witch. If you eat me, the heat of the day will be wiped away, said the ice cream dessert. Now then, one of these is lying. Which one is it? What do you mean, lying? Like, the bread isn't making a statement. It's asking her to do something. So, I don't know. Obviously this is some, like, funny, haha, Professor Layton puzzle, I think. Let's see what it's like in Japanese. 2JP. No, it doesn't work. Hold on, I'm gonna try to load. Shatter. Eh? Oh, it went back. I guess it doesn't work. Yeah, it's Leon. Alright, we got any thoughts here, or should we ask Aunt Ava? Because I don't know what this is all about. Let's see. There's no, like, word that sounds like lying in here, so I don't think it's that kind of thing. You guess A. Under what pretense, though? What's your logic here? I mean, it has to be either A or D, I think, because those are the only ones that are actually making statements here, right? Probably. Like, I've made you soup. If you eat me, the heat of the day will be wiped away. Yeah? Because otherwise, like, what would the others be lying about? Like, you must be thirsty. No, I'm not thirsty. You can't lie with a command. Let's see what Ava says. Let's see what Ava says. I've got it. The hint here is that the witch got home much later than usual. What happens when she gets home later than usual? Think carefully. The food is always freshly made and served at the usual time. Oh. Okay. So what happens when she gets home long after that? Alright. It's the ice cream because it's already melted. I think it's the ice cream. The ice cream! The witch got back really late, so the ice cream would have melted. So she couldn't eat it. I didn't realize, like, because they don't give you the times, but I guess it makes sense. She'll probably get home at like 11 p.m. and the ice cream is probably like a 5 p.m. thing or something. I mean, it still would have stretched because you could assume like, okay, if she has like magic do this stuff, there could be like cooling magic that keeps the stuff at the right temperature anyway. You don't really know. It's like, how far are you supposed to be? Yeah, stew can't make stew. I know. I thought that was weirdly worded too. I see what you're getting at. But I didn't think it was enough to be the answer. Nicely done. It's weird. You have to like kind of suspend your disbelief, but not fully. It's strange. Nicely done. See, Ange-chan is a clever girl, isn't she? Congratulations, Ange-sama. Very impressive. How quickly you solved the puzzle that I, Goda, put all my efforts into. It was totally easy. Anteva's puzzle was harder. I did need a hint. Thanks. Congratulations. This medal is your prize for answering my question correctly. Thank you. Okay, that was easy. Now let's take a shot at Kumasawa-san's puzzle. Looks like I'm up next. Now let's test Ange-sama with my specially made super hard puzzle. Are you ready? How hard is it? Oh, you'll have to wait and see. And now let the mackerel dessert puzzle begin. Mackerel dessert? This is Kumasawa-san we're talking about, so you can bet it'll be a strange one. Be careful. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. The cook was in trouble. Dinner had been fully prepared except for the dessert, but he had no ingredients except sabara, mackerel, and leftovers. Okay, so the fact that that's still in Japanese is probably a hint to the nature of the puzzle. I mean, yeah, clearly because of this. Then the cook had a flash of inspiration. By changing just a single letter, he could make a grand desert. Oh, desert, desert, desert. I get the puzzle. It's desert. So you change the B into an H. Sahara Desert. Okay. What is this in Japanese, I wonder? They must have had to rework this somehow. Well, no, I guess not. Savara, like, it's still the Sahara Desert, so it would just be changing Ba into Ha, so that's fine. I can't but notice, though, that this B looks like a 6. I feel like it's just the font, but dinner head 6EEN, fully prepared. But yeah, it's clearly this one. Change the B. I got it. The letter is B. It's B with a serif. Yeah, no, it's a very big serif. I don't know how they did the like dessert and desert thing in Japanese though. Maybe they wrote both of them in katakana. I don't know. Do it. Not very well. I can kind of write in cursive. Like, I can sign my name if I need to, but it looks like shit. But that's fine, because no one actually cares. No one ever, like, checks and they're like, oh, you didn't dot your I. Or, like, you curved your M too many times. There's too many loopies on your M. Nobody cares over here. Unless you're in school. Once you get out of school, it's irrelevant. Entirely. Cursive is stupid. I think it's just pointless. The letter is B. If you change the B in Sabara to an H, you get Sahara. Oh, that's correct. The last line said you could make a great desert out of Sabara, not dessert. I figured out a trick of Japanese and English. Am I awesome? Am I awesome? So I must have had desert and dessert in katakana. Oh, yeah. Is that where you want Screechies? Is that where you want him? You're so smart, Ange-chan. You deserve a pat on the head. I like it when you do that. Just change a single letter and even mackerel can make a fine dessert. A fine desert. Are you starting to see mackerel's true power? The day I'm forced to serve a joke like that for dessert, I imagine heads will roll. I wouldn't like it either. I like ice cream for dessert. Of course. By the way, we shouldn't be worried, should we? What about tonight's dessert? Oh, I could hardly wait to surprise everyone with a mackerel fruit parfait waiting there in the kitchen. No. Everyone burst out laughing. For some time after that, I was tormented by the terrifying image of a parfait neatly topped with mackerel chunks. Fish blood leaking into it like strawberries. That's an actual... Ew. What a shame. I tried so hard to stop Ange-sama from getting that prize, but she solved my best riddle like it was nothing. Though she said that, Kurosawa smiled. A gold-colored medal glittered in her wrinkly hand. Angie took it. Well then, that's all for our puzzles. Please keep up the pace, get more and more medals, and win that splendid prize from the master. Okay, thank you. I'll keep it up. We did it, Aunt Ava. Let's keep it up. We rushed away. Okay, who should we take on next? Stargazy Pie. Ew. Baked pilchards. I mean, there's no, like, fruit or anything, is it, though? So it's different, right? It's just, you know, it's like the one in Misty Izakuya with the fish popping out the top. Yeah. So it is the same thing. I remember that one. Okay, that's cool. But it's like fish pie, and it's just, you know, eggs, potatoes, so it at least makes sense. It's not like fish and a fruit or something gross like that. I mean, I don't really eat fish anyway, in general, but yeah, still. It seems that all of a sudden, the tiny girl who used to hide and tremble in Kirie-sama's shadow, has grown up to be so bright and cheery. Yeah, I remember seeing Longing Pie. With each passing family conference, one can feel the growth of these youngsters. After just a few years more, Ange-sama will surely learn of love, of makeup, and will eventually grow to become a true lady. Very true. If she grows normally with the passing time, that is. A cruel fate will force the chick called Angie into a lonely future. If an egg isn't warmed, it won't hatch. The egg she is now will not be warmed by anyone, and it will not hatch. Inside that frozen egg, will Angie-sama have no choice but to face an isolated future? An eggshell can always be broken from the inside. A cold shell may be very, very hard, but that doesn't mean it cannot be broken. Does Ange-sama have the strength to do that? Is she capable of achieving that or not? I hear that question is what this final game is all about. Perhaps we should have sent her a clearer message. If the egg could not be warmed, could we not at least strike it from the outside to make it easier to crack? If a chick without the power to break its own shell is forced outside of the egg, it won't be able to withstand the cold winds. Ange-sama will have to find that power and resilience herself. But could we not somehow explain that power and resilience to her? Or does it mean nothing if they are merely given? They must also be accepted. No matter what we try to give Ange-sama, it will be meaningless unless she accepts it. You're right. No matter what we try to tell her, it won't matter unless she listens. Oh ho ho ho. We can do nothing but watch over her. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. We can do nothing but pray that Ange-sama chooses a better future for herself. If Ange-sama does not abandon herself to anger for the sole purpose of distracting herself from her resignation and sadness, if she can just be honest about that one single wish that she truly desires more than anything else, then you can be certain that she will make her greatest wish come true. It is ironic. Since the very beginning, she's been denying that greatest wish of hers herself. After brings happiness. Here's bring misfortune. Those who believe will be saved. People have the power to create their own futures by the strength of their emotions. I wish we could just let her hear those words. Adler-sama is very strict. He is hoping that Angie will realize it by her own power alone. It is not permitting even words of this nature to be told to her. It seems we can do nothing but watch over her. And so, let us at least pray. Pray that she grasps the world she desires most with her own hands. Oh, have you selected me? Yeah, I'll have to face everyone sooner or later. Right, Aunt Ava? Right. Come on, let's have a puzzle. We'll solve it in a flash. Hahaha. I see. Then it seems I must make it a good one. Genji, you should give her one as well. A tough one. As you wish. In that case, a tough one it shall be. Oh no. Whoa, I'd hoped that Genji-san would give me a simple puzzle, but now he's saying it'll be tough. Scary. But I'll beat both of them. I can't let myself get scared. Then let us start with mine. I'm a doctor, so how about an ambulance puzzle? Is this going to be... Okay, so yeah, they're explaining it here. Yeah, that's the spelling that I use as well. Well, like that. When you're in Japan, the word emergency happens to sound the same as the number 9 twice. If you add an emergency to X, you'll get an ambulance. If X is subtracted by 130, you'll get a police car. What number goes in X? Hint, the difference between the two cars is half an emergency. Let's see. I don't know what the police car thing is all about. That I'm not sure on. I don't know what that's all about. Ambulance is QQ Sha, I believe, right? So, you know, like, emergency is 99, essentially, is what they're saying here. So, we're adding 99 to something. And if we subtract it, we get a police car. I don't know where the police car comes from. They don't explain that. The difference between the two cars is half an emergency. Well, that's already a problem because we don't want to cut 99 in half because it's not a number. So let's ask the audience. Anteva, help. I'm too young for math. The question marks are a number? But emergency is a word. You can't add a number to a word, right? That part sounds like some sort of word game. After all, QQ means emergency and Q means 9. I mean, maybe we're supposed to take QQ as 18, but she says 99 here. If you write two 9s together, it looks like 99, doesn't it? So if you add something to 99, you get an ambulance? Why does some number added to 99 get you an ambulance? Ah, I've got it. Huh? Really? Hey, what is it? I'll give you a hint. You've got a big advantage here that most people around the world don't have. Then again, even people from other countries could narrow it down to 2 answers with a little math. Well, she was saying, like, add this to it. Again, I wish I could see this in Japanese. I could probably use that to, like, cheese it a little bit. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem you can. Oh, I could get Aunt Ava's hint in Japanese. I could do that. Let me just skim through this real quick and see what she says. Oh, if you do that, it shows up like this. Oh, so you can. Cool. Let's see. So interesting, we don't say police car, we say, like, car with a red lamp. Ava said police car, like, in her description, she was like, oh, that's what it is, a police car. Patoka. Patrol car. So, translating this, if you add QQ to question mark, you get an ambulance with a red lamp. If you subtract question mark from 130, you get a red lamp car, but not an ambulance. What number fits in question mark? So, you get different hints in English and Japanese, so we can maybe use that to figure out what this is. What's the whole red lamp thing mean, exactly? I mean, that's the kind of thing. It's like some kind of weird word riddle in both games. Like, I understand Japanese well enough that if it were displayed to be, I would get it. But there's clearly something I'm missing here. I don't know what the red lamp is all about. Akai rampu. There's no way to, like, get a number out of Akai rampu or anything. It doesn't particularly look like a number. It doesn't sound like a number. So I don't know. I mean, we could try to do some math and maybe somehow figure this out, I guess. But I don't really know what that's going to give us, honestly. Don't know what the lamp means. Let's switch it back to English. Alright, we have to switch it here, where it actually works. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, they're basically saying, like, without understanding of the word game, you'll probably have to do some math. Kind of shame that they just come up with, like, a new puzzle here that would have worked, like, perfectly. But, it's whatever. You're saying it's between B and D, so B, C, or D. I mean, Ava says that you can narrow it down to 2 answers. I don't even really know where to start with this, that's the thing. If it's between the 2 cars, it's half an emergency. Half an emergency is clearly supposed to be a big hint because this is only in English. This last hint, the half an emergency part. But half an emergency doesn't really help us that much. I don't think. B or D. Ah, I see. Why do you say that? Yeah, I misinterpreted that. Yeah, you're right. My brain's already fried. It's a math guessing trick. Yeah, but I'd like to actually figure out how to get the answer properly. I don't want to have to guess if I don't have to. Already ends in 0. Okay. That's great and all. I don't really see how that matters. Police car, huh? Police car. How do you represent a police car with numbers? What if you remove the 1? The 1? The 1 and 0 of 130. What? What are you talking about? Remove the 1 and 0. Why would you remove the 1 and 0? It's supposed to be math. I don't think this is something silly like, oh, a 9 kind of looks like a 1 and a 0. Because that's definitely not the case in this font. With the serifs and stuff. You can't, like, combine a 1 and a 0 to get a 9. Also, QQ is, you know, 2 9s in the first place. I have no idea what this is asking, honestly. This is total nonsense to me, unlike the previous puzzles. Straight... No, there's no division here. It doesn't ever mention division. Why would there be division? We have addition and subtraction. I think it'd be a big leap in logic to go for division. Yeah, subtraction. So I basically just have like 2 L's. Well, it says that you can use math to narrow it down to 2 answers, and from there, you can maybe figure it out. Patoka. Doesn't ring any bells to me. I mean, I guess... I mean, if you're making a stretch, like the pa in Patoka patrol car looks a bit like the kanji for 8, but I feel like that's not it. Emergency number in Japan... I forget, but... Oh, you think that might be relevant? Yeah, maybe. I forget. What's the... I'll check. It's 119. Yeah, that's probably relevant then, yeah. I thought that was what it was in the UK. Is it the same? In the UK and, Japan? No, it's 999 in the UK. Wow. Huh. Crazy. Alright, yeah, that must be it then. Yeah. So it's D, so you subtract... Okay, wait, okay, so hold on, so we got QQ. You add 20 to 99 to get the ambulance. Okay, wait, hold on, so... Okay, so emergency is QQ. So we add that. So, yep, so we get 119 by adding 20 and 99. You get the ambulance. Then you, yeah, okay. So you get, wait, 110. Oh, 110 is the police. Okay, so it's different numbers. Okay. I think in America, you just dial 911 for either one, and they basically send you whatever you need. Interesting. Okay. Thank you for assisting with that. Yeah, that logic makes sense. That logic makes sense. I wasn't thinking of, like, phone numbers. I feel like Anteva could have pointed me toward phone numbers. Anteva, you weren't very helpful. 20. Emergency sounds like 99. If you add 20 to that, you get 119. That's the emergency number for ambulances. Yeah, basically, like, they middleman for you, 911 does. You subtract 20 from 130, you get 110. That's the emergency number for calling the police. Splendid, that is correct. I knew you were a quick thinker, Angie-san. It only took me 10 minutes. Oh, well done, Angie! What a wise granddaughter I have. Congratulations, this medal belongs to you. But what was that about the difference between the two being half an emergency? Yeah, we didn't really need the part. If you used that hint, you could make a pretty good guess at the answer, even if you forgot what the emergency numbers were. Huh? At any rate, the gold medal glittering in Anjo's hand is now mine. Okay, now I'll defeat Genji 2 and get another one. Yes, that's the spirit. Let's solve more and more. Good thing Angie has such a smart chat. Oh, my granddaughter has such an intelligent chat. Your turn, Genji-san. My friend here doesn't speak much, but his knowledge is quite extensive. Even I cannot wait to see what sort of puzzle he whips up. Now then, Angie-sama, prepare yourself. The puzzle starts now. I've never heard anyone say prepare yourself like that when giving a quiz. I started to get so tense that my stomach began to hurt. It'll be okay. Hang in there. Anteva gripped my hand firmly and my stomach ache got a little better. Angie-sama, have you learned division? Yeah. I learned it in cram school. You're 6. You don't know how to divide. No, they don't teach you that at 6, right? Right? Incredible, a 6-year-old who knows division? Yes, see? Then there should be no problems. Here it comes. This is bad. I did learn division, but I'm not very good at it. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got. We have a lit candle, 5 centimeters in length. Every hour, half of that candle's remaining length is burned away. Then, when its length is 1 centimeter or less, the flame will disappear. 3 hours later, the flame had disappeared, but what was the length of the candle at that time? Alright, let's see, help me. I'm an American. Hold on. Shut up, Google. I don't want AI mode. Leave me alone. 10 millimeters in a centimeter. Okay. So is this just a math puzzle with, like, no tricks in particular here? That's probably the case. I don't think this could really be a trick question, right? So let's see, every hour, so 3 hours later, so we just cut it in half 3 times, then? Is that all this is? So 5 centimeters is 50 millimeters. So we cut that in half. We get 25. And we get 12.5. We cut that in half again. And we get 6.25. So it should be C. Unless this is some kind of trick question or something. But it should be about 6 millimeters, 6.25. Like, I can do basic math. So let's see here. My sincere... No, apparently that's wrong. Okay. So it's probably a trick question. See, that's why I hate these. They're always like trick questions. Mazui. Alright, let's see what Ava says. Half of its remaining length burns away each hour, right? After the first hour, it's burned down by half of 5 centimeters. During the next hour, it burns down half of that remaining length. And during the third hour, it burns down half of that remaining length. I did the math, it's 6.25. 50 divided by 2 is 25. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. Then divide 12.5 by 2 to get 6.25. I was right. I can't really do it without a calculator. Do you know the answer, Anteva? Ah, I've got it. Oh, I suppose the trick question is it's just 10. It's just 10 millimeters because it burns away immediately. We don't skip past that. So yeah, it's just a trick question, actually. So it's itsy. I did the math, but that's not what they wanted. After 1 hour, the 5 centimeters becomes 2.5 centimeters, and the next hour that becomes 1.25 centimeters, and the next hour that becomes 0.6225 centimeters. Angie-chan, you don't need to use math. Make sure you remember the problem clearly. How long is the candle when it burns out? Ah, that was a close one. The candle goes out when it's 1 centimeter long, so the rest doesn't matter. Genji, you're an asshole. I worked too hard when I didn't need to. Huh. The flame on this candle dies when the candle is 1 centimeter in length. In other words, it can never get shorter than 1 centimeter. So the right answer is the 5th choice, about 10 millimeters. As long as this isn't some silly thing like we unload the candle and it continues going down. We reload the candle. But I don't think Angie knows that. Angie doesn't know, like, CDDA, reality bubble logic. That's right. You are correct. Oh, splendidly done, Angie. How clever of you not to be misled. Yeah, I definitely wasn't misled. I didn't even need division. I almost got tricked. You were pretty mean there, Genji-san. You even asked her if she could do division. That was a trap, right? Correct. My humble apologies. Hahaha. After all, Genji-san is the sort who can trick you without changing his expression in the slightest. It worked. I mean, he got me. Congratulations, Anji-sama. This medal is proof that you have correctly solved my puzzle. Find my pages. Thanks. Oops. Thanks. Yeah, I got another medal, Aunt Eva. Yeah, nice going. I'll get lots more. I'll get a ton, and then grandfather will give me a great prize. Indeed. Give it all you've got, my granddaughter. Good luck, Anji-san. I'm rooting for you. I'm going to do a few more, then in about 2 hours I'm going to switch over, by the way, to DOD. I'm not going to do all the puzzles one day. There must be others waiting for you. Perhaps you ought to search for the next challenge. Okay, thank you. I'll try even harder now. Because at the end of this, there's one that takes a while. That I'm going to have to take notes for. That I do remember the answer for. But, still. I'd like to work through it. We dashed away. There are still many people waiting to give me puzzles. I have tons of chances to get medals. Okay, who should I challenge next? I mean, you say that, but each of them has their own puzzle. Also, there's Shannon and Cannon, too. We haven't done Shannon and Cannon. She did say that they would have puzzles, too. Also, there's all the cousins. All the cousins have puzzles, too. And Rosa. Everyone has a puzzle, I'm pretty sure. See, Valor's coming over. After Angie and Ava left, Valor, who had been watching the progress, came over. Red Rover, send Valor on over. How was Angie doing? Oh, Valor. I'm not certain, but she does seem to be enjoying herself. I heard your puzzle, Genji-san. Even I was almost taken in back there. You honor me. Still, it's not quite what I would have expected. Who would have thought you'd give a trick question like that? I figured you'd make a straightforward, simple puzzle. Hahaha. You might expect such a thing from him, silent as he is. But he is much more of a schemer than he appears. Very true. Oh, this is probably Dr. Nanjo talking? Very true. If you play a chess match against him, you'll see that right away. He even pulls me from time to time. He'll trick me right to my face with that stern, serious expression of his. He has always been like that, and yet, despite the numerous occasions in which he has fooled me in the past, I keep on getting tricked. Wahaha. Come to think of it, what sort of relationship do you and Genji-san have? Scandalous. For just an instant, Kinzo glanced at Genji's face. Apparently he didn't plan on touching on the subject if Genji had any objections. However, Genji spoke as though there was no point hiding it any longer. I knew the master once, in Taiwan. Knew me, he says. We were partners in crime, you might say. The two of us were both prodigal sons of rich families, a pair of ruffians who caused their parents nothing but trouble. Genji-san, is it prodigal? Prodigal? No, it's prodigy, but I'm not sure. I think it's prodigal son, right? Maybe Genji-san, a prodigal son? That's a surprise. So Genji-san has also moved to Taiwan where he met grandfather? No, I'm a native of Taiwan. Genji-san was born in Taiwan. Well, since Taiwan was under Japanese rule before the war, he's still Japanese, of course. He was a man who hated losing. When we first met, we fought all the time. When we hit it off, We became the best of friends. There was a lot of disorder and conflict around the war. The master was the one who saved me during that chaotic period. If I spent the rest of my life trying to repay that debt, it would not be long enough to pay it back in full. Don't say that, my friend. If only I had been a little more persuasive, I would have been able to bring your family back with us as well. Because I was so inadequate, I wasn't able to save anyone but you. I don't know much about the details of Taiwan's history, but apparently there was still a lot of chaos there, even after the war ended and Japan pulled out. Kinzo, predicting this chaos before it happened, worked out a way for Genji and his family to escape. However, Genji's family possessed great wealth in Taiwan. They weren't able to abandon it, and they decided to remain there. This wealth had been built up thanks to the close relationship with the Japanese-run government of Taiwan. The new regime after the war wasn't likely to welcome them with open arms. Much mayhem and confusion followed, and Genji was the only one who escaped harm. I don't know what happened to make this man, whom Kinzo just called a troublesome prodigal son, change so drastically to become the person he is today. It was a story of friendship between the two of them, and there could be hardly any point in an unrelated person sifting through history books to interpret it however they pleased. They had been good friends since long ago, and they owed each other their lives. See, you wouldn't even get this if you got the questions wrong, probably. It's crazy. You get Genji backstory, which we never really got. Though the troubled times tossed them about, their friendship held firm for decades. Genji's role is now that of the butler, but when they're alone in the study, they sometimes share drink and think back on the days of their youth. And they're still that way today. Leaving Kinzo and Genji to reminisce, Butler walked off on his own. It would be rude to ask for any more detail, and he didn't need to know. Kinzo and Genji had been friends since long, long ago. That was something he already knew. Junie's showing me your belly again. What do you think? Do you want to challenge Aunt Nazi and Uncle Kraus next? Yeah, let's beat them. Let's do these two. Haha, very well, we'll play along. The two of us have prepared some formidable puzzles for you. Should I go first, or you? I will start. Very well. Listen closely to what I'm about to say. White, black, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, black, white, white. Huh? White, black, huh? Write it down. I'll say it once more. And I'm sure it's probably going to be on the screen too, but... White, black, white, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, black, white. What does the question mark stand for? This is a really hard one. I'm not reading it again. Looks like the white and black are alternating between white and black. Is it gray? Is it that easy? This is a surprisingly hard one coming from you, Natsuine-san. Ante was groaning. Apparently this one's really tough. Is it really so hard? There's a chance that some people won't understand if they haven't had the right experiences. It was an aside, I think Ange-san would have seen it a lot at school and kindergarten. But what the heck? I don't have a clue. Is it a problem that I could get easier than Aunt Ava? It's hard. I mean, we got 5 on one side, 6 on the other side. Okay, so it's not like this is 4 things, it's just 1 thing in there, which is good to know, I guess. And it's not just alternating. I see. So this might be a Japanese thing. Let's look at this in Japanese. Well, let's read the hint first. The hint for this one is probably what Natsuine-san said about something you might see in a school or kindergarten. You know what it is, Anji-chan? No, I'm stuck. See, even Anji-chan says she's stuck. Give her at least a little hint. I see. Then a hint. They may be different colors, but you get a beautiful sound no matter what you push. Oh, it's a piano. A beautiful sound? Are these black and white things something that makes sounds? Black and white things that make a sound when you push them. Okay. Let's see. I have a small keyboard I could go get. I mean, but I don't really need to, I don't think. I mean, you get 2 and then... So it should be white. Should be white, I think. Right here. Yeah, I mean, you don't have 2 blacks in a row at any point, but you have 2 whites between, like, the 2 blacks, 3 blacks. So it should be white. I feel like the whole, like, elementary school, preschool thing throws you off more because you think it's, like, some sport thing or something because they have these flags here. It's like, capture the flag. But no, it should be white. The black and white thing is a keyboard, like a piano. No, there's 2 whites in a row. There. between the two sets. Ah, is that it? It's a keyboard? Something that can be found in kindergartens and schools, which is covered with a line of white and black things. It's an instrument, like a keyboard on a piano or a melodica. The first two black keys are between do, re, mi. A set of 3 black keys are between fa, sol, la, and ti. Started with white, black, wait, I'm not reading this again. There's no black key between mi and fa, so fa comes right after mi. And since the question mark comes after mi, the right answer is fa. In other words, the right answer is white. Correct. I thought it might have been a bit too hard, but you did well. Splendidly done, you two. Go ahead, Nazi. Congratulations, Ange-chan. Here's my medal for you. It's hard to do it without a bit of context about what you're thinking of, unless maybe you're a musician and it immediately comes to mind, but... did it for me. Alright, on Teva, I got another one. Things are moving along nicely. Next up is Nissan's puzzle. Let's solve it in a flash and teach him a lesson, okay? Then we can go play the video game. How interesting. Looks like it's time you were taught a lesson. Stop it, Aneva. Don't make him mad. I was afraid it was going to be binary too. It's like, oh no, I'm not good with binary. You'll make the puzzle harder. If there's anyone you have to blame, it's Ava. Now take this brain twister. Here's a puzzle about the tenants of a skyscraper I've invested in. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a 7-story skyscraper. No puzzle has ever started like that. The following companies are located on the following floors. Okamuda Securities Co. Ltd. was located on the 7th floor. Iwamura Realty Co. was located on the 6th floor. Tamada Transport Co. Ltd. was located on the 5th floor. No, it says Ushinomiya Building, actually. Close enough, though. Now then, Murakoshi Publishing Co. Ltd. was located on the blank floor. What goes in the blank? Bitch, I don't know. Let's see. How could we possibly... what kind of, like, connection are we looking for here? At first I was thinking, like, it's the number of letters in the name or something, but that's not the case. Or syllables doesn't really work either. Oh, wait. Hold on, we have T, we have SRT. These are... But they're not in, like, RST order, so that doesn't actually work. No. So, I don't think, like, the security realty transport, like, the letter it starts with matters at all. Oka, Iwa, Ta. It's relevant. That doesn't have anything to do with anything. Let's see what Ava says, I think, because I don't really see anywhere to even start here, honestly. I'm staring at it for another second or two and trying to think, but... This chapter 8's funny. Episode 8's funny. I don't know anything about the skyscraper, so there's no way I could know. I know it's in floors 5 and above, so the answer must be somewhere between floor 1 and floor 4. There's no doubt about that. Do you give up? I won't give up. So you're saying that Murakoshi Publishing Co. Ltd. is on this floor X, not floor X. The Xth floor. Oh, okay. It's an English puzzle. Again. It's really sneaky. So you don't say, like, first floor or second floor or third floor. You say fourth floor. Okay. I mean, I've seen countless Japanese people in games and stuff write the wrong one. Don't get... Yeah, like... So, I don't have faith in that kind of thing, but yeah. It's clever. It's a clever writing puzzle. The fourth floor. Well done, you got it. From floor 1 to floor 4, there's only one floor that ends in TH, the fourth floor. Yeah, the fourth floor fits, but the other ones are the first, second, third floors. Nicely done. Even I didn't figure that until I had the answer given to me. Apparently, Uncle Kraus once had this puzzle shown to him and he wasn't able to answer right. I mean, it's an English puzzle. Yeah, it does only work when written. That's why he immediately showed it to us and didn't read it out loud first. Like, he didn't do what Nazi said and say, like, black, white, yada, yada, yada. That was technically a hint, too. He looked a bit downcast to see a kid like me solve it. For some reason, he looked even more mortified to see that Ava had solved it. How strange. Come on, now. Let's see that medal. This medal is a mark of Ange-chan's intelligence. I mustn't let you have it, Ava. Heh, sore loser. Thank you, Uncle Kraus. Am I incredible? Very much so. You're a more flexible thinker than your uncle. I'm proud to have you as a niece. Hooray. Alright, we'll read through the Kraus and Nazi dialogue too. That's all for our puzzles. I do hope you enjoyed them. I did. Thank you, Aunt Nazi and Uncle Kraus. I hope you can enjoy all the tricky questions without worrying about your medal count too much. We all hope that this becomes a wonderful night just for you. We really are enjoying ourselves. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Kraus and Nazi smiled at him as they dashed away. Oh, it's you, Nazi. How did your puzzles go? We did the best we could, but I'm not sure how much they enjoyed them. On the other side of the room, Ange and Ava were counting the medals they had gathered so far. Ange and Ava. It was such an unexpected pairing, but they looked like they were having a great time. A future parent and child, unrelated by blood. Watching them like this, they look just like a normal parent and child. Yes, they do. Bonds between people are nurtured by the heart. Ties of blood do not bond as strongly. After saying this, Nancy bit back her own words and stared at the floor. What's wrong? I was just surprised that I would dare to say such words. You don't need to worry about me. Because I rejected you, you met a painful fate in so many worlds. Oh, while I'm thinking about it. Not sure why it popped into my head. More people to answer this, the better. What do people think about having the chat on the screen here like this? Is this a plus or a minus? Is this intrusive? Or do you think it's a good thing for, like, the VODs and stuff to have the chat there? Anyone have any thoughts in particular, like, yay or nay to it? Because I've had it there for a while, but I don't really know if people like it or not. Because, you know, everyone's got different kinds of stream, like, standards and, like, setups and stuff. Yeah, I think it's kind of good for archival purposes. It's good for this kind of thing, especially, right? I think for Umineko, it's especially good to have so people can, like, talk about what's going on. Like, reason through stuff. Yeah. I guess as long as there's not, like, a bunch of people that dislike it, I'll keep it. I understand how you felt. Unable to become pregnant, you were forced to feel shame for many years. In that situation, any woman would be shocked if they were handed a baby whose parentage they didn't even know, and then told to adopt them. That was no reason for me to push you off a cliff. True. You will have to carry that cross for the rest of your life. Yes, I'm prepared to do so. In that case, the suffering you must endure will come from the cross you bear. Not from me. You don't despise me? Don't make that dejected face. No, perhaps it's the other way around. As long as you continue making that dejected face, I'll feel no desire to punish you. As long as you continue to carry that cross, I will feel no desire to hate you. Do you mean that you don't hate me? To tell the truth, I did hate you. I hated your guts. I hated you so much I wanted to hang up a pillow with your picture on it and use it as a punching bag. But as I watched you, that feeling faded away. You regretted and lamented, and I'm sure you'll never forget that feeling for as long as you live. How could I forget? After all, I'm a murderer. Your cross is a heavy one, doubtless. I can feel compassion for you now. I'm serious. After all, Kinzo was the one at fault, right? It's his fault for having an illegitimate child in the first place. And the way he forced that child on you was even worse. He should at least have been able to avoid hurting you by saying, please take care of this poor child, instead of, you can't give birth, so adopt this kid. Men, that Kinzo. I no longer hate you. Doesn't that make the cross you bear feel any lighter? No. I still don't know how I can make up for what I did to you. Then let's do it this way. Hold out your arms. Huh? Like this? As Natsu spread her arms uncertainly. Beata looked forward and hugged her tight. This is a little... I'll never say this again, so let me say it once. After all, I never had a chance to meet my mother. Still hugging Natsu, Beata spoke in a whisper. She spoke those words that she would certainly never say again. Thank you for worrying so much for my sake. But I really don't hate you anymore. Please, believe that, Mother. But Beatrice... Gee, Beatrice, why do you get two moms? Yet she's still an orphan. Poor girl. Right. Good night, Ikuyo. I'm switching over to DoD in a minute anyway, so Umineko time's over. Just about. I'll do the remainder of the puzzle section next time, because it's still going to go on for a while. If I did the whole thing right now, it would be an hour plus. Okay. So let me see here.